Hello. Sorry, I haven't talked for a while. Um, Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever I'm reaching you right now when you take a look at this video. So, for the last few weeks, I've been reading from the Miracle Morning book from Hal Elrod. Um, I decided to do a live reading from this book because last year um, we were reading quite a few books through our online business to help us with marketing and whatnot. And two books really impacted me. And so I wanted to come on live and read this book page by page. Um, First of all, there's no way you can get what you would get from it unless you had a copy. So I really would like to recommend anyone who wants to make big difference in their life, who want to change things, to pick up a copy of The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. This young man at the age of 20 um, had a 20, I believe it was 20, um, had a car accident, not his fault, a drunk driver, and he was dead for 6 minutes, and then he recovered from that. And so he talks about how he overcame the depression and whatnot. But that, believe it or not, was not the biggest impact in his life, the biggest crisis. There was another crisis in his life, worse than that. And he talks about that, and he talks about how he overcame that. And this is the book that helped him recover from that second crisis. It is an amazing book, and the steps are simple, and yet they could appear to be difficult. But just like anything else, a perfect example is, I worked in the medical field for 25 years, 35 years, and loved it, loved my job. But I was at the point where I knew I was running out of time to get things that I wanted to do in life, and running out of, not necessarily running out of the financial aspect, but I certainly wanted to do more with the financial aspect to help others. Anyway, and this book has helped me to be able to transform my mornings and enabling me to reach those goals and get those, things that they say the bucket list, right? So um, I'm not finished either. So thank you, Hal. And so the chapter we're reading now is chapter 6, but I'll read this part. The lifesavers. It's the acronym SAVERS, SAVERS. 6 practices guaranteed to save you from a life of unfulfilled potential. And there were at the beginning of every letter, there's a few quotes like this one from Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn. I'm going to do one book from Jim Rohn because even though he is in heaven right now, I love Jim Rohn. He is just a down to earth, borderline comedian at times. I just love the way he teaches and what he teaches. He was a millionaire, so he knows what he's talking about. So Jim Rohn, success is something you attract by the person you become. So trust me, this book, the next book that I'll be reading, transform us. And as long as we apply it and put action behind it and start applying these things, is when we see transformation. It's not going to transform if you're sitting on the couch watching Netflix and hockey games. Another one from Robin Sharma. An extraordinary life is all about daily, continuous improvements in the area that matters the most. And that is personal development. So the letter S, there was Mahatma Gandhi, In the attitude of silence, the soul finds the path in a clearer light, and what is elusive and deceptive resolves itself into crystal clearness. So we just talked a little bit about in this part um, before this section was about meditation and just silence. S is for silence. And so Mahatma Gandhi definitely supports meditation, or just silence, just quieting your mind. Um, there's a lot of Christians who would say, well, meditation isn't good, but if you're meditating on God, that would be perfect, right? And you have to keep pushing. Oh, I have to take the garbage out in half an hour. Oh, I didn't make my lunch for this morning. You have to push those things out of your mind. So the first challenge is to do 5 minutes of silence in the morning. That's the first step. And so the other Matthew Kelly says, you can learn more in an hour of silence than you can in a year from books. Yeah, I know, it's hard to believe, eh? So now we go to the letter A. A is for affirmations. I read these yesterday, but it was just the beginning of our affirmation section, but I'm going to read them again. Muhammad Ali says, it's the repetition of affirmations that leads to belief. Once you believe, once that you believe, your belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. And we all know how he always said he's the greatest, he's the greatest, he's the greatest, right? Florence Scovel Sheen, you will be a failure until you impress the subconscious with the conviction that you are a success. This is done by making an affirmation which clicks with you. So this is the next part of the book. It's a little longer than last night. Hopefully you won't fall asleep. If you fall asleep, just finish listening tomorrow. I am the greatest. Muhammad Ali affirmed these words over and over again, and then he became them. Affirmations are one of the most effective tools for quickly becoming the person you need to be to achieve everything you want in your life. Affirmations allow you to design and then develop the mindset, thoughts, belief, and focus that you need to take any area of your life to the next level. It is no coincidence that some of the most successful people in our society, celebrities like Will Smith, Jim Carrey, Susan Orman, Muhammad Ali, Oprah, and many more, have all been vocal about their belief that positive thinking and the use of affirmation has helped them on their journey to success and wealth. Whether or not you realize it, incessantly talking to oneself is not just for crazy people. Every single one of us has an internal dialogue that runs through our heads almost nonstop. Most of it is unconscious. That is, we don't consciously choose the dialogue. Instead, we allow our past experiences, both good and bad, to replay over and over again. Not only is this completely normal, it is one of the most important processes for each of us to learn about and master. Yet, very few people take responsibility for actively choosing to think positive, proactive thoughts that will add value to their lives. I recently read a statistic that 80% of women have deprecating, deprecating thoughts about themselves, body image, job performance, other people's opinion of them, etc. Throughout the day, I'm sure that men do also, although it may be to a lesser extent. Your self talk has dramatic influence on your level of success in every aspect of your life: confidence, health, happiness, wealth, relationship, etc. Your affirmations are either working for or against you, depending on how you are using them. If you don't consciously design and choose your affirmations, you are susceptible to repeating and reliving the fear, insecurities, and limitations of your past. However, when you actively design and write out your affirmations to be in alignment with what you want to accomplish, and you need to be to accomplish it, and commit to repeating them daily, ideally out loud, they immediately make an impression on your subconscious mind. Your affirmations go to work to transform the way you think and feel so you can overcome your limiting beliefs and behaviors and replace them with those you need to succeed. Why not? Right? How affirmations changed my life. My first real life exposure to the power of affirmations came when I was living with one of my most successful friends, Matt Ricoeur. Nearly every day, I would hear Matt shouting from the shower in his bedroom. Thinking he was yelling for me, I would approach his bedroom door only to find that he was shouting things like, I am in control of my destiny. I deserve to be a success. I am committed to doing everything I must do today to reach my goals and create the life of my dreams. What a weirdo, I thought. The only previous exposure I had to affirmation was through a popular 1990s spoof on the hit show TV show Saturday Night Live, in which Al Franken's uh, character, Stuart Smalley, used to stare into a mirror and repeat to himself, I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. I'm doggone it. People like me. As a result, I always thought of affirmation as a joke. Matt knew better. As a student of Tony Robbins, Matt had been using affirmations and incantations for years to create extraordinary levels of success, owning 5 homes and one of the top network engineers in his country, all by the age of 25. I should have figured Matt knew what he was doing. After all, I was the one renting a room in his house. Unfortunately, it took me a few more years to realize that affirmations are one of the most powerful tools for transforming your life. My initial first-hand experience using affirmations came when uh, I read about them in Napoleon Hill's legendary book Think and Grow Rich, which I highly recommend. By the way, although I was skeptical that the repetition of affirmation was really going to make any measurable impact on my life, I thought I would give it a shot. If it worked for Matt, it might work for me. I chose to target the limiting beliefs I had developed after suffering significant brain damage in my car accident. I had a horrible memory. If you read my first book, Taking Life Head On, you know that my short-term memory was almost non-existent following my car accident. While this led to some pretty comical incidents, my memory was so poor that friends and family would spend hours visiting with me at the hospital, take a quick lunch break, and then return to have me greet them as if I hadn't seen them for years. Facing such a real physical limitation due to traumatic brain injury caused me to constantly reinforce the belief that I had a horrible memory. Anytime someone asked me to remember or remind them of something, I would always repeat, "Hey, I would, but I really can't. I have brain damage and I'm a horrible short-term memory." It had been 7 years since my car accident, and while this belief was based on my reality then, It was time to let it go. Maybe my memory was so horrible, at least in part because I had never made the effort to believe it could improve. As Henry Ford says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. If affirmations could change what was, to me, the most justified limiting belief that I had, then they could probably change anything. So I created my first affirmation, which read, I let go of the limiting belief that I have terrible memory. My brain is a miraculous organism capable of healing itself, and my memory can improve, but only in promotion to how much I believe it can improve. So from this moment on, I am maintaining the unwavering belief that I have an excellent memory and it's continuing to get better every day. I read this short affirmation every day during my miracle morning, still programmed with my past beliefs. I wasn't sure it was working. Then, 2 months after my first day reciting my affirmation, something occurred that hadn't occurred in over 7 years. A friend asked me to remember to call her the next day, and I responded, sure, no problem. As soon as the words left my mouth, my eyes widened and I got excited. My limiting belief about my horrible memory was losing its power. I had replaced it with a reprogrammed my subconscious mind with more new, empowering beliefs using my affirmations. From that point on, having also added the belief that affirmations really work, not only did my memory continue to improve, but I created affirmations for every area of my life that I wanted to advance. I began using affirmations to improve my health, my finances, my relationships, overall happiness, confidence, as well as and all belief, mindsets, and habits that needed an upgrade. Nothing was off limit. There are no limits. How's your programming? We've all been programmed at the subconscious level to think, believe, and act the way we do. Our programming is a result of many influences, including what we have been told by others, what we have told other ourselves, and all of our life experiences, both good and bad. Some of us have programming that makes it easy for us to be happy and successful, while others, possibly the majority, have programmed that makes life difficult. So the bad news is that if we don't actively change our programming, our potential will be crushed, and our lives limited uh, by fears, and our lives limited by fears, insecurities, and limitations of our past. We must stop programming ourselves for a life of mediocrity by focusing on what we're doing wrong, being too hard on ourselves when we make mistakes, and causing ourselves to feel guilty, inadequate, and undeserving of the success we really want. The good news is that our programming can be changed or improved at any time. We can reprogram ourselves to overcome all of our fears, insecurities, bad habits, and any self limiting potential destroying beliefs and behaviors we currently have. So we can become as successful as we want to be in any area of our lives we choose. You can use affirmations to start programming yourself to be confident and successful in everything you do simply by repeating telling re, simply by repeat simply by repeatedly telling yourself who you want to be, what you want to accomplish, and how you are going to accomplish it. With enough repetition, your subconscious mind will begin to believe what you tell it, acting upon it, and eventually manifest it in your reality. Putting your affirmations in writing makes it possible for you to choose your new programming so it moves you towards that desired condition or state of mind by enabling you to consistently review it. Constant repetition of an affirmation will lead to acceptance by the mind and result in changes in your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. Since you get to choose and create your affirmations, you can design them to help you establish the thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors that you want and need to succeed. 5 simple steps to create your own affirmations. Here are 5 simple steps to create your own affirmations, followed by a link where you can download free Miracle Morning affirmations. Step 1: what you really want. The purpose of writing affirmation is to program your mind that with the belief, attitude, and behavior slash habits that are vital to your being able to attract, create, and to sustain your ideal level of success. Level 10 success in every area of your life. So, your affirmation must first clearly articulate exactly what you want your ideal life to be like in each area. You can organize your affirmations according to the areas that you most want to focus on in improving, such as health, fitness, mindset, emotions, finances, relationships, spirituality, etc., etc. Begin with clarifying in writing what you really want, your ideal vision for yourself and your life in each area. Why? Okay, step 2, why you want it. As my good friend Adam Stoke, president of Rising Stock Incorporation, once told me, the whys begins with whys. The whys begin with whys. Everyone wants to be happy, healthy, and successful, but wanting is really an effective strategy for getting. Those who overcome the temptations of mediocrity and achieve everything they want in life have an extraordinarily compelling why that drives them. They have defined a clear life purpose that is more powerful than the collective sum of their petty problems and the countless obstacles they will inevitably face, and they wake up each day and work towards their purpose. Include why. At the deepest level, all of the things you want are important to you. Being crystal clear on your deepest whys will give you an unstoppable purpose. Step 3: who you are committed to being to create it. As my first coach, Jeff Suey, used to say, this is where the rubber meets the road. In other words, your life gets better only after you get better. Your outer world improves only after you're invested countless hours improving yourself, being who you need to be, or doing what you need to do are prerequisites for having what you want to have. Get clear on who you need to be, are, are committed to being in order to take your life, business, health, marriage, etc. to the next level of beyond and beyond. Step 4: what you're committed to doing to attain it. Which actions will you need to take on a consistent basis to make your vision for your ideal life a reality? Want to lose weight? Your affirmation might say something like, I'm 100% committed to going to the gym 5 days a week and running on the treadmill for a minimum of 20 minutes. Sorry. If you're a salesperson, your affirmation might read, I'm committed to making 20 prospective calls every day from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. The more specific your actions are, the better. Be sure to include frequency, quality, and precise time frames, what time at times you'll begin and end your activities. It's also important to start small. If you're going to the gym 0 days a week for 0 minutes, going to 5 days for 20 minutes is a big leap. It's important to take manageable steps. Feel small success along the way so you feel good, and don't get discouraged by setting expectations too high to be able to maintain. You can build up to your ideal goal. Start by writing down a daily or weekly goal and decide when you will increase. After a few weeks of successful meeting your goal of going to the gym 2 days a week for 20 minutes, then move it up 3 days a week for 20 minutes and so on. I have a good example of that. A friend of mine and I started exercising from 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning. So we do 20 minutes of aerobics, but we didn't start there. We started with 10 minutes of aerobics and then we increased by a minute every week. Now we're at 20 minutes of aerobics and we have a variety of lightweight exercises just to strengthen. We don't want to have big muscles, we just want to be stronger. And the same thing there. We just started with one set of 15 reps, and now we're at 3 sets of 15 reps. And so, but that took like 4 months to get to that. So yeah, it's a good incremental change is good because then if you overdo it, then you don't want to go back. That's why the gyms are empty by February. Step 5, add inspirational quotes and philosophies. I am always on the lookout for quotes and philosophies that I can add to my affirmations. For example, one of my affirmations came from a book, What Got You Here Won't Get You There by Marshall Goldsmith. It reads, the number one skill of influencers is the sincere effort to make a person feel that he or she is the most important person in the world. It's one of the skills that Bill Clinton, Oprah Winfrey, and Bruce Goodman used to become the best in their field. I will do this for every person I connect with. Another reads, follow Tim Ferry advice to maximize productivity. Schedule 3 to 5 hour blocks or half days of singularly focusing attention on one single activity or project rather than trying to switch tasks every 60 minutes. Anytime you see or hear a quote that inspires you, or come across an empowering philosophy or strategy, and think to yourself, man, that is a huge area of improvement for me, add it to your affirmations. By focusing on these every day, you will begin to integrate the empowering philosophies and strategies into your way of thinking and living, which will improve your results and quality of life. Final thoughts on affirmations. In order for your affirmations to be effective, it is important that you tap into your emotions while reading them. Mindlessly repeating a phrase over and over again without feeling its truth will have a minimal impact on you. You must take responsibility for generating authentic emotions and powerfully influencing those emotions into every affirmation you repeat to yourself. Have fun with it. If you're excited about an affirmation, it doesn't hurt to dance and shout it from the rooftop. So if you hear something tomorrow, it's me. It can also be beneficial to incorporate a purposeful philosophy, such as reciting your affirmation while standing tall, taking a deep breath, making a fist, and exercising. Combining physical activity with affirmation is a great way to harness the power of the mind-body connection. Keep in mind that your affirmations will never really be a final draft because you should always be updating them as you continue to learn, grow, and evolve. So should your affirmations. When you come up with a new goal, dream, habit, or philosophy you want to integrate into your life, add it to your affirmations. When you accomplish a goal or completely integrate a new habit into your life, you might find it's no longer necessary to focus on it every day, and thus choose to remove it from your affirmations. Finally, you must be consistent with reading your daily affirmations. That's right, you must read them daily. Saying an occasional affirmation is as effective as getting an occasional workout. You won't see any measurable results until you make them a part of your daily routine. That's largely what the Miracle Morning 30-day life transformation challenge is on chapter 9 is all about making each of the lifesavers SAVERS a habit so that you can do them effortlessly. One more thing to consider. Reading this book or any book is an affirmation to yourself. Anything you read influences your thoughts. Then you consistently read positive self improvement books and articles. You are programming your mind with the thoughts and beliefs that will support you in creating success. Visit www.miraclemorning.com/resources to get help creating and perfecting your affirmations and see a sample of my own personal affirmations. View and download highly effective Miracle Morning affirmations on everything from losing weight, improving your relationships, increasing your energy, developing extraordinary self confidence, and making more money, overcoming depression, and so much more. The end of this, the second letter in Savers, SAVERS. Tomorrow we will read V is for visualization. Sherry Charter Scott says, ordinary people believe only in the positive. Extraordinary people visualize not what is possible or probable, but rather what is impossible. And by visualizing the impossible, they begin to see it possible. Robert Collier says, see things as you would have them see them as you would have them be instead of as they are. So this is just wonderful. So tomorrow we'll read letter V for visualization, and then we'll go on Monday. So again, pick up a copy, read it for yourself, implement it for yourself, and change. See the transformation in your life. All right, this is Josée from Muskoka, Ontario, saying good night. It's 8:46 here. Starting to lose my voice. I guess I talk too much. Anyways, tomorrow's Sunday. Be grateful. Be grateful for everything you have. Talk to you tomorrow. God bless.